All right, welcome into the postgame show, everybody. Dan Tanner here for Altitude Sports Radio's Denver Nuggets postgame show in the paint, reacting to Nuggets and Warriors that just went final there at Ball Arena. It was their second game of the NBA Emirates Cup, and the Nuggets just absolutely crushed the Golden State Warriors tonight at Ball Arena to go 6-2 on the season. 129-104 was the final down there at Ball Arena. So much to get into here on the post-game show. Nikola Jokic had a monster night. Jamal Murray looks like he is absolutely on his way to being an all-star this season, so we'll see if he can continue that. Aaron Gordon had a just nasty dunk that I want to show everybody on here. I've got it saved in my Twitter bookmarks there, so we're going to show you that because that was just one of the sickest dunks I've ever seen. And Aaron Gordon's had a lot of sick dunks. That one was really, really special, especially like the crossover and the moves he did before the dunk itself, which was outstanding. So lots to get into here on the post-game show. As always, feel free to leave me your comments. I want to get your thoughts on the game, and I'll try to get to as many of those and share as many of those as I can as we roll along through the post-game show. But yeah, the Nuggets just, they cruised in this one. I mean, it was 32-21 after the first quarter. The Warriors actually did start the second on a 10-0 run when Joker went off the floor. So Joker plays the entire first quarter. Okay, we're starting to see a little bit of a trend there with Adelman. That's what we saw in the Malone years. Joker would play the entire first quarter. He would sit, I don't know, maybe roughly 5 to 6 minutes into that second quarter and come back in. But what was interesting about tonight's game is Joker, he didn't get back into the game in the second quarter until there was like just over 4 minutes left in that second quarter, because that second unit, after the 10-0 run for Golden State, the Nuggets' second unit just took over. Jamal Murray hit a couple of big threes. Jonas Valanciunas hit a couple of big threes. They go on their own 9-0 run and really separated themselves again from Golden State to put them back up by 17. I thought that second unit was just absolutely phenomenal tonight in quarters 2 and 4 for the Denver Nuggets. Well, really, it was 2 and parts of 3 and 4 because Nikola Jokic didn't have to play in the fourth quarter. We're going to get into why that matters here in just a little bit. But yeah, Jokic sat until the 4-minute, 16-second mark of that second quarter, and it was 53-36 Nuggets when he came back in. They were plus, again, the second unit was +6 in the non-Joker minutes. I think they've been a plus in all but one game so far this year, has the bench unit. I don't know. I remember that happening maybe 2 or 3 times all of last season. I mean, it is obvious how much better this team is than the teams the Nuggets had over the last 2 years. The starting unit is roughly the same. Take away KCP, take away MPJ, insert CB, insert Cam Johnson. But the bench unit is 3 to 4 to 5 times better than they've had over the last 2 years. I mean, this team is so deep and so good, and it's so much fun to watch. I thought Jonas Valanciunas had his best game as a Nugget tonight. He was flat out awesome. I mean, just tremendous was Jonas Valanciunas. What did he end up finishing the game with? I'll pull it up here real quick because he was awesome tonight. I mean, he was rebounding, he was hitting threes, he had the little floater going. He was all over the place for the Denver Nuggets. Val had 16 points in 16 minutes for Big Val. I mean, that was absolutely awesome to go along with 6 rebounds and an assist. Shot 75% from the field. The Nuggets were just shooting lights out tonight. I mean, they were just absolutely on fire. They shot 56% as a team from the field tonight, which is a really good number, and an even better number. They shot 48.5% from 3. Jamal Murray had it going. I thought this was probably his best game of the year. He scores 23 points, but really efficient shooting night. He was 8 of 12 from the field, 5 of 7 from beyond the arc for, close to 72% there from three-point land from Jamal Murray. Boy, he has looked absolutely awesome to start the year. We've talked about this a bunch on this show, but he has absolutely come into the season in shape, ready to go. And the Nuggets just look like an absolute wagon right now, as they would say in the the world of hockey. They're a wagon right now, and they improve to 6-2 on the year. First game on Amazon tonight. Curious your thoughts on just the broadcast itself, the pregame, halftime, postgame crew. I thought they did a really good job. I really did. I've been pleasantly surprised so far with the coverage on Peacock and the coverage on Amazon. They have Blake Griffin, Steve Nash, Dirk Nowitzki, to go along with Taylor Rooks, who does an amazing job hosting that show. It was great. I get that the inside the NBA guys are now they're still on. They're just on ESPN. But it was kind of a sad moment, I guess you could say, for a lot of basketball fans who've grown up with those guys. Like, what's it going to be like now? How is Amazon going to do their coverage? How's NBC going to do their coverage? It's early, but I think they've done a really good job. The picture looked great on Prime, I thought. It's the same with Thursday Night Football. How about that? We get the Broncos last night on Amazon, Nuggets tonight on Amazon Prime, and I thought they did a really good job. It was cool to hear from Dirk Nowitzki talking about Nikola Jokic. That was awesome to see and hear. So really good stuff there. Curious your thoughts on just kind of how all that went down tonight for you guys. Did you enjoy your viewing experience? No Altitude TV tonight because it was exclusively on Amazon, and I thought they did a really good job. So, all right, we'll get to your comments here in just a second, but I've got to show you this dunk. This Aaron Gordon dunk was absolutely stupid. I'm going to share my screen here because this was so good. It's worthy of showing all of you here on the postgame show. I tweeted it out. I literally just took a video of it on my TV and tweeted it out because it was like, this dunk is fantastic. And what I want to point out here is, look at what Aaron Gordon does to the defender before the dunk itself. The dunk itself is amazing, but the ball handling and the footwork and just everything that went into this play, it's one of my favorite Aaron Gordon plays I've ever seen. And he's had a lot of good plays. So here we go. Here's the dunk from Aaron Gordon. Look at this.
Gordon behind the back. Another crossover down the lane.
Oh my goodness. We got to watch this one more time. This was awesome.
Filthy.
Look at the footwork. Look at the ball. Look at the handles. And then the stink eye. This is the best part here too. I want to look at Gordon's face. That is fantastic. The mean mugs from Aaron Gordon. If you remember last year in the playoffs in OKC when Aaron Gordon hit the game winner, he did the same sort of like mean mug face. That is one of my favorite faces in all of sports. And Aaron Gordon just does it to perfection. So that was really cool to see. Just a absolutely awesome play there from AG. That was special. That was special. Oh, and we got a new court tonight also. So I want your thoughts on the Prime broadcast, but I'm also curious your thoughts on the court. Look, I'm not like super into these colored courts. If you're complaining about the Nuggets court, which by the way, I will say that's been my favorite one they've done so far compared to the blue and the yellow. The yellow is the one I believe they did last year. Go look at what the Minnesota Timberwolves did. It's a bright highlighter green. And I kid you not. In fact, I'll see if I can find that because you could like literally see the court reflecting onto the player's face because it was so bright. I mean, it was absolutely insane. In fact, here, Barstool tweeted out a video of their court. So let me share this. I like the Nuggets court. I mean, I'm not super into like the colored courts. I get it that the NBA is trying to say, hey, this looks different because we're doing a different thing here with the tournament and we want to showcase that. I get that, but to me, it's just kind of, whatever. But with that being said, I thought the Nuggets was cool. It had the Denver across the middle as essentially the logo instead of, the Nuggets actual logo, which was kind of a cool change of pace. But here, let me show you the Timberwolves court here real quick because this was pretty interesting. All right, here's this. This is the Timberwolves court. Look at that. I mean, my goodness. There's I don't even know what the score and what this game was, but yeah. So that's the Timberwolves court. So if you're complaining about the Nuggets court, it could be worse. And I actually like the Nuggets court. I really did. Of all the ones they've done, that's been my favorite so far. So yeah, if you've been listening to the show, I'm not going to keep going with this tonight, but you know my displeasure with how the NBA is doing the in-season tournament. I just think the way, I don't mind the idea of it, but the way they're executing it makes zero sense. Have it all together, okay? Stop spacing these games out. Why? It's a tournament. Also, it's way too early in the season, and Adam Silver has said the year it started, we're trying to drum up interest earlier on in the season. Okay, I guess. Good luck competing with the NFL, by the way. So I don't know how effective that's going to be. I think it'd be much better later in the season. All together is just one thing. It's just, here's the tournament. We play all the tournament games together and decide a winner and give fans more of a reason to care more about these games. My idea is the winner of the tournament is an automatic top 6 seed in whatever conference they win it in. So anyways, so the Nuggets are now 1-1. They're in the NBA Cup tourney, Emirates Cup. By the way, Tyler was saying on our show, was it last week or 2 weeks ago, or maybe it was Scott Hastings, Emirates is paying the NBA $1 billion to sponsor the NBA Cup. $1 billion. I mean, that is absolutely wild. So I get it, okay? And the NBA is smart for doing it. I just don't like how they're executing it. I think they could do a much better job of actually how they execute the tournament, and I think it would be a cool thing to drum up interest more in fans. Like I was telling DMAC, I still care about these games, but I care the same amount as I would for a regular season game. So just give the fans more of a reason to care about these games, and then that's kind of my problem with it. But we'll see. It's early. Maybe they'll tweak it. Maybe they won't. Okay. Couple other news and notes here from the game, and then I'll get to your comments. Nikola Jokic in his 28 minutes, just a smooth 26 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists, 12 of 15 shooting from the field. Didn't even play the fourth quarter. The guy is just a machine. I mean, we kind of talk about this all the time, and in fact, down at the games in the media room, we'll ask Adam and we'll tell the players, like, golly, we didn't even mention Joker in this press conference because we're just so used to his greatness that it almost can get overlooked at times. But David Adelman said it earlier this week, like, appreciate Joker while he's here because you'll never see this again. I mean, you'll definitely never see this in Denver again. Who knows if we'll see a player like him in the NBA ever again. Now, I would imagine that Nikola Jokic is such a massive star globally that he is inspiring the younger generation to try to mimic his play style. Like, how many, 7-foot centers are we going to see coming into the NBA over the next 10, 15, 20 years trying to play that point center that Nikola Jokic does so well? I mean, we're already seeing it a little bit with guys like Alperen Şengün in Houston, who's off to a great start. I love Şengün. But I really do think we're going to at least see, it's exactly like we saw with Steph Curry. What were all of the kids doing at AAU? They were shooting the 3-ball because they wanted to be like Steph Curry. I do think that Joker is so great, and he has brought such a cool, different element or play style, whatever you want to call it, to the NBA, to the point, like, we've never seen a player quite like Joker. Now, I would say his play style is probably the closest to like a Magic Johnson type. I know he's been compared to Larry Bird a lot, but I actually think his style is more fitting to Magic's. I don't know if we're going to see it at the level that Joker's doing it and at the ease he's doing it. For a guy that is, for NBA standards at least, as unathletic as Nikola Jokic is, to see a guy dominate the NBA the way he is simply remarkable. And he is just, he's a joy to watch. He's a joy to cover. Fans, I hope you appreciate what we're watching with this guy because it is truly, truly special. And I will say this, if and or when Nikola Jokic gets a second ring, and I think it's going to be this year, I mean, I'm knocking on wood, but I did predict the Nuggets to win the title this year. And that is not a homer pick because I did not pick them to win it the last 2 years because I didn't think they were deep enough. And it turns out they weren't deep enough. Now they're more than deep enough. I mean, you got guys like Julian Strother who are hardly playing. He got in garbage time tonight, but he's a good player. And they barely need him. Now, over the course of an 82-game regular season, they might need him. And that's a good problem for the Nuggets to have. But with the way that Joker's playing, with the way that Jamal Murray has started the season, with the way Valanciunas is filling in as the backup center, with the way the second unit's playing, man, this team is really, really good. They could be in for a really special season. And then Christian Braun, I thought he was awesome tonight. In fact, I thought he had a great start to the game. He started the game shooting 3 of 4 from the field. I loved his game tonight. There was zero hesitation shooting the basketball. And really, you could say that for the entire team. I thought the Nuggets did a really good job tonight of absolutely no hesitation shooting the basketball. They stepped into every shot with confidence, didn't think twice about it. That's when the Nuggets are at their best, and that's when Christian Braun is at his best, and that's what he was doing tonight. He got off to a little bit of a slow start this year. I wasn't worried about CB. I really do think that Christian Braun is one of the best two-way guards in the NBA. He's an excellent defender. He's outstanding in transition, and he's starting to get his shot back, which was missing, the first week and a half of the season. It's really hard to evaluate this team so far because it is still so early, but there are tons of positive signs. I would say the only negative so far to start the season has been Cam Johnson. I mean, he went scoreless tonight. He was the only starter that didn't score. He only took 3 shots. But I will say this, and I'm sure a lot of Nuggets fans are seeing what Michael Porter Jr. is doing in Brooklyn, who've only won 1 game, by the way. But Michael's playing great. I mean, he is their go-to scorer. I think Cam will get it going offensively, and I do think it's going to take some time. Now, if this is the Cam Johnson we're getting in February, then I'll be more concerned. But I will say he has not let his defensive play slip at all. I think he has been fantastic on the defensive end. The Nuggets are a much better defensive team this year than they were last year. I mean, they were great defensively tonight. Now, I get that Golden State was missing their best player in Steph Curry, but I thought they were absolutely phenomenal defensively tonight, and it showed. I mean, they had another game where they didn't allow a 30-point quarter. 21 points given up in the first, 28 in the second, 28 in the third, 27 in the fourth. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And they only give up 104 points. And honestly, if Draymond Green doesn't go berserk from beyond the arc, I don't think Golden State gets close to 100 points tonight. That was pretty wild seeing Draymond. That was kind of fun because Draymond was barking at the Nuggets bench. When he was making a 3, he's barking at the bench. And they actually had audio from the Amazon broadcast of when Draymond missed a 3 right in front of the Nuggets bench. They were giving it to him. And Draymond's like, hey, that's all right. I'll hit the next one. And he goes down from the top of the 3-point shot, nails it, and he goes down. He's like, I told you. So that was kind of fun. But other than that, I mean, Draymond was 5 of 10 shooting from 3 tonight. Who saw that coming? So just an absolutely awesome win for the Nuggets tonight as they get the 129-104 victory to improve to 6-2 on the early season. All right, let's get to some of your comments here. Curious your thoughts. I've asked about the Prime broadcast, the court. Any thoughts on the NBA Cup? How do you think the Nuggets are doing so far to start the year? Garrett says, so awesome to watch. Yeah, here we go. I love this. Win says Operation 80-2. D-Mac predicted 60-plus wins for the Nuggets. I don't know if that's a possibility with how deep the West is, but I will say they have a legitimate chance. I believe 58 wins is their record in franchise history. I mean, they definitely have a chance to get close to 60. If they can stay healthy and the bench unit can continue to produce, I do think they have a good chance of getting close to 60 wins this year. Actually, I think D-Mac said 70. I mean, it was something crazy like that, but I do think 60 is in play. But it's going to be tough because the Western Conference is really good. I was watching Spurs Rockets. That was the game on Prime beforehand. Oh my God. Victor Wembanyama is a freak of nature. I mean, absolute freak of nature. They are going to be really, really good this year and for a long time. All right. Andon says, even if Steph was in the game, Warriors would have gotten the break speed off of them. Yeah, I mean, with the way the Nuggets played tonight, I tend to agree with you because the Nuggets were just shooting the lights out of the basketball. Excellent defense. They were bottling up Podziemski. Post had a couple of nice dunks. He looks like he's going to be an okay player, but yeah, that Warriors team is old. I mean, the Nuggets aren't the youngest team in the league, but that Warriors team is old, is very, very old. All right, let's see here. Another one from my guy, Andon. I love seeing Valanciunas grab the offensive rebound and get the putback. That kind of play is a literal game changer. I'm telling you, I thought this was Big Val's easily his best game so far as a Denver Nugget. And, when he comes in the game, I don't know about any of you, but I don't lose any confidence or hardly any confidence when Nikola Jokic is off the floor now because that guy is legit and he can play. And he hits a couple of threes tonight. That was awesome to see. I will say this. He has a really funky release from that distance. I mean, it looks like almost like a slingshot, but they went in and he was awesome. And yeah, the rebounding, he can protect the rim. I mean, he does it all. So that's been great to see there from Jonas Valanciunas. Just excellent offseason addition for the Nuggets there. TJ said, I think the Prime broadcast was awesome. Yeah, I loved it. They're doing a really good job. They do a good job with Thursday Night Football as well. And they've got, like I said, Dirk Nowitzki, Steve Nash. They had Blake Griffin on there with Taylor Rooks. They're great. Absolutely great. Yeah, Michael says, I really like Blake Griffin in the halftime panel. Thought it was awesome. All right, here's Jason on Cam Johnson. Goose egg by Johnson. That being said, can't wait to see them when he gets it going. Right, like that's a fair point. And it's something I've thought about. Like, the Nuggets are rolling right now, and Cam Johnson, like, let's not get this mixed up, okay? He can play on the offensive end. I mean, he's a career almost 40% three-point shooter. He's a player on the offensive end. I think it's going to take time, and Cam has said that himself. It's going to take time for for him to get acclimated playing with the Nuggets and their structure and their system, playing with Nikola Jokic. Just run to the open spot on the floor, and Nikola Jokic is going to find you. And I think Cam is starting to learn that. But I got to say, I mean, his defense has been absolutely outstanding. So he's not letting it affect his defense, which is great. And he's been just such a massive upgrade, at least defensively, over Michael Porter Jr. Now, the offense hasn't come yet, but he was absolutely awesome. Let's see here. Yeah. Win says, are the Nuggets going to average 137 points when CJ gets going? Cam Johnson. That's what's so fun about this is, like, once he gets it going, and I suspect that he will, this is going to take this offense to just another level, which is mind-boggling to think about because they're currently the highest scoring team in the NBA. Absolutely awesome. All right. Kevin says he doesn't like the Amazon and announcers. That's fine. I thought they were good. I liked it. Did a good job. Amazon's got a really good, clean picture. I like the setup. And I don't know if any of you tried this, but you can do like the multi-view. So I was watching them do the Nuggets Warriors pregame show, and then you can have I had the Rockets and Spurs on a little box next to it. So I thought that was a really cool feature as well. I wish that, more streaming services had that option. I know the Altitude Plus app, tomorrow, the Avs and Nuggets will be playing at the same time. They have the multi-view option on the app. So if you have the app, you can watch the Avs and the Nuggets game at the same time, and then you can just click on whatever screen you want the sound to come on. Really, really cool stuff there from the guys over at Altitude TV and the Altitude Plus app. That was awesome. All right, let's see. Kevin says, Joker's style is like Michael Jordan's style. I've never heard that one before. I've heard Joker compared to a lot of NBA greats. I've never heard Michael Jordan. But hey, look, if you look at all the analytics, like, this is what's crazy about Joker. If you look at PER, player efficiency rating, historically, like who's had the highest PER seasons of all time, you see Michael and LeBron like way up at the tippy top, right? Like it's those two, and then it's everybody else. But then if you go way above them, it's Nikola Jokic. I mean, So if you're just looking at the analytics, Nikola Jokic is the most effective, efficient basketball player in NBA history. I mean, and it's not even close. Like Michael Jordan and LeBron don't even come close to Nikola Jokic. And it's not just one season. It's like 4 seasons that Joker has been that far ahead of those guys in PER. What he's doing, he doesn't have the championships yet that LeBron and MJ have. So you can't put him in the conversation until that happens, or at least until he gets close. But if you look at the raw analytics, he's the most effective NBA player in the game's history. That's how good of a run he has been on. All right, let's see here. Raymond says NBA Cup doesn't matter, but got to win to keep up anyway. Yeah, I'm with you. Like, again, with the NBA Cup, I just don't really get it. I don't like how they're executing it. Like, people at the radio station are like, well, you win the NBA Cup. There's your added rooting interest for fans. You tell me, all of you listening, do you care about the NBA Cup? And just be honest. Like, does that mean something to you? And who knows, maybe 10, 15 years down the road, it'll start to gain some significance. But to me, I couldn't care less who wins the NBA Cup. I just want the Nuggets to win these games for playoff seeding, for, the actual playoffs and the actual championship trophy. So, like the idea, just think the NBA is doing a really bad job executing it. All right, that's going to do it for the post-game show tonight, everybody. Excellent win for the Denver Nuggets. Again, they crushed the Warriors, 129-104. Oh, and then one more thing I was going to mention. By the way, the Nuggets play tomorrow. So Nikola Jokic doesn't have to play at all in the fourth quarter. Huge bonus, huge benefit for this Denver team. And the starters, I know Jamal played a little bit to start the fourth, but basically none of the starters had to play in the fourth quarter. Well, that's good because they play tomorrow night. Now, they don't have to travel. It's here in Denver, but they play the Pacers at 7 tomorrow night at Ball Arena. So that is a massive bonus for this Nuggets team to not have to play Nikola Jokic at all in the fourth quarter, and the majority of the starters there in the fourth quarter. So they should be rested and hopefully ready to go to take on a Pacers team they're struggling. I mean, they're missing their best player. I know they were in the finals last year, but Tyrese Halliburton's going to miss I believe the entirety of the regular season because he tore his Achilles. Was it an Achilles or ACL? I think it was an Achilles in the finals there against the Oklahoma City Thunder. And yeah, they're 1-7 to start the season. So they're having a rough go of it right now. They are, the Nets are 1-8 and the Wizards are 1-8. And then right ahead of them are the Indiana Pacers at 1-7. So very, very winnable game for the Denver Nuggets before they head back out onto the road. They'll have a couple days off after tomorrow, and then they head to Sacramento coming up on Tuesday. So they got to get these wins while they're set up too. And I think the Nuggets can get it done tomorrow night. All right, that's going to do it for the postgame show tonight, everybody. I'm Dan Tanner. You've been listening to In the Paint, Altitude Sports Radio's digital Nuggets postgame show. We'll be back tomorrow night for reaction to Nuggets and Pacers. We'll see you then.